Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel where we dive deep into the cars that keep us moving forward, literally. Today, we're talking about one of the most reliable names in the midsize sedan game, the all-new 2026 Honda Accord. If you're in the market for something that's equal parts practical, efficient, and just plain fun to drive, this could be your next ride. I've spent some time behind the wheel and around this beauty, and let me tell you, Honda's refined it even further for 2026. With subtle updates that make it feel fresh without reinventing the wheel. Stick around as we break it all down, from the sleek lines outside to the tech-loaded cabin inside, how it performs on the road, what it'll cost you, and whether it's the right pick for you. Let's jump right in. Picture this, you're pulling up to a stoplight, and heads turn just a bit because the 2026 Accord doesn't scream for attention, it commands it quietly. Starting from the front, Honda's given it a sportier edge with a refreshed grille that's bolder and more angular, drawing your eye to that wide, sculpted lower air intake that's been redesigned for better airflow and a hint of aggression. The headlights are slim LED units that sweep back elegantly, integrated seamlessly into the hood line, and they come standard with auto high beam assist to keep things safe at night. The bumpers got these subtle creases that add depth, and on higher trims like the Sport, you get blacked out accents that make it pop without going overboard. It's evolutionary, not revolutionary, but it gives the Accord a more modern, planted stance compared to last year, measuring about 195 inches long overall, with a wheelbase that's stretched just enough for stability, moving around to the side. The profile is where the Accord shines as a daily driver that's easy to park but feels substantial on the highway. The doors are flush with the body for that clean, premium look, and the character lines running along the lower door sill add a subtle wave that breaks up the sheet metal nicely. Windows are frameless at the top for a coupe-like vibe, though it's still a practical four-door sedan. Honda's thrown in new wheel designs for 2026 to 18-inch alloys on the X and up, with a machined finish that catches the light just right, wrapped in low-profile tires for that balanced ride. The side mirrors are body-colored with integrated turn signals and blind spot monitoring cameras on most trims, and the overall height sits at around 57 inches, so it's low enough to slice through wind but tall enough for easy ingress. No major changes here from the previous gen, but the tweaks make it feel more aerodynamic, contributing to that impressive highway efficiency we'll get to later. Flip it around to the rear, and it's all about understated sophistication. The taillights are full-width LED strips that connect across the trunk lid, giving it a wide, stable rear presence that's super visible in traffic. The bumper's been subtly reshaped with a diffuser-like lower section on the hybrid models, and exhaust tips are hidden away for a cleaner look, though the Sport trim hints at them with chrome surrounds. The trunk opens wide with a low lift-over height, and that 16.7 cubic feet of space is plenty for groceries, golf clubs, or weekend luggage. Overall, the exterior updates are mild but effective, a facelift that's about 1% bolder, keeping the Accord's timeless appeal while nodding to current trends. It's not flashy like a Civic Type R, but it's the kind of car that ages gracefully. Alright, let's slide inside and see what Honda's cooked up for the cabin, because if the outside is inviting, the interior is where you'll want to spend your time. Hop in the driver's seat, and you're greeted by a straightforward dashboard that's all business in the best way. A simple, horizontal layout with soft-touch materials everywhere you look. The seats are plush leather trimmed on the XL and Touring, with heating and ventilation options that adjust 8 ways, electrically super supportive for long hauls, wrapping you in just the right amount of cushion without feeling squishy. Up front, you've got 42.3 inches of legroom, which means even taller folks like me at 6 feet 2 inches can stretch out without knees kissing the dash. The steering wheel is leather-wrapped, heated on higher trims, with controls for the cruise and audio that feel intuitive right away. Now, glance at the center stack. And while the tech here is a step up for 2026, standard across the board is a 10.2-inch digital driver display that's customizable, showing everything from navigation arrows to efficiency readouts in crisp, high-res graphics. But the star is the infotainment, a massive 12.3-inch touchscreen on most models, jumping to 15 inches on the Touring, running Honda's latest software that's buttery smooth and Google-built for seamless integration. Wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto are baked in, so your phone mirrors instantly without cables, and there's a wireless charger pad right below to keep things juiced. The climate controls are physical knobs for quick adjustments, dual-zone automatic, of course with a honeycomb pattern trim that hides the vents for a minimalist vibe. Audio starts with 8 speakers but scales to 12 on the premium setups. pumping out clear sound whether you're blasting podcasts or your favorite playlist. Climb into the back. And this is where the Accord flexes its family-friendly muscles, 40.8 inches of rear legroom that's class-leading, meaning adults can sit comfortably behind adults without cramping. Headroom's generous at 37.3 inches, and the seats recline slightly for extra coziness. 3 adults fit across with USB-C ports for each, and the center console passes through for cue folders. It's quiet in here too, thanks to active noise cancellation and better insulation, so highway drone is minimal. Materials feel upscale, soft-touch plastics, suede-like inserts on the doors, and ambient lighting that washes the footwells in a soft blue glow at night. Cargo-wise, that trunk swallows full-size suitcases easily, and 60/40ths folding seats expanded if needed. Overall, it's a cabin that's mature, spacious, and tech-forward, perfect for commutes or cross-country trips. Of course, no reviews complete without hitting the road, so let's talk performance. The 2026 Accord offers 2 powertrains, both front-wheel drive with a continuously variable transmission that's tuned to feel more like a traditional automatic smooth shifts without the droning some CVTs have. First up, the gas-only model with a 1.5-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder pumping out 192 horsepower and the same in torque. It's punchy off the line for merging onto freeways, hitting 60 miles per hour in about 7.9 seconds based on prior testing, but it mellows out at higher speeds. Handling's neutral and composed, with a suspension that's firm yet forgiving over potholes, and brakes that bite progressively without drama. Fuel economy? A solid 29 city and 37 highway, giving you up to 474 miles per tank, great for road trippers watching the pump. But honestly, the hybrid is where the magic happens, and it's the one I'd spec for most buyers. Pairing a 2.0-liter Atkinson Cycle 4 with 2 electric motors for a combined 204 horses, it leaps to 60 in 6.6 seconds quicker than the gas version and surprisingly spirited for a family sedan. The electric boost gives instant torque for city zipping, and it seamlessly switches modes without you noticing. On the XL trim, you're looking at an EPA-estimated 51 city and 44 highway MPG. Drop to the Sport or Touring with their sportier tires, and it's 46/41 to Stellar, stretching a tank to 614 miles. It's not a rocket like a BMW 3 Series, but the ride's balanced, plush over bumps, planted in corners with minimal body roll. Wind and road noise creep in at triple-digit speeds, but for everyday driving, it's refined and efficient. No all-wheel drive option, which is a bummer in snowy states. But the standard suite of driver aids like adaptive cruise with lane centering, forward collision braking, and blind spot warnings makes it feel safer than ever. Now, let's get real about the wallet. Pricing for the 2026 Accord starts right around $30,000 for the base LX gas model, a slight bump from last year's $29,390. Thanks to the facelift and inflation tweaks, expect 1 to 3% hikes across the board. Step up to the X at about $32,500, where you get the bigger screen, blind spot monitoring, and moonroof. The hybrid kicks off at $33,000-ish for the Sport Hybrid, blending efficiency with 19-inch wheels and paddle shifters for faux manual fun. Top it with the Touring Hybrid around $38,500, adding that 15-inch display, head-up display, and premium audio. Fully loaded, you're under $40,000 cheaper than a comparably equipped Camry Hybrid or Sonata, and with Honda's reliability rep, resale holds strong. Factor in federal tax credits up to $7,500 for the hybrid if you qualify, and it sweetens the deal. Leases might run $300 to $400 monthly, but shop around, dealers are competitive in this segment. So, is the 2026 Accord right for you? If you're a daily commuter tired of gas guzzlers, grab the hybrid. Its efficiency and pep make traffic tolerable, and that rear space is gold for carpooling parents. The gas version suits budget buyers who want V6-like power without the thirst. Strengths: unbeatable reliability, intuitive tech, and value that punches above its price. It's spacious, safe with Honda Sensing 3.0 standard, and drives like a more expensive car. Drawbacks? No, a WD means it's not ideal for winter warriors, and while the interior is premium, it lacks the wow factor luxury of a Genesis G70 compared to rivals. It edges the Toyota Camry on fun-to-drive factor, but trails the Hyundai Sonata in bold styling. My suggestion: test drive both powertrains. The hybrid's seamless power will win you over. It's not for speed demons, but for 90% of us, it's the smart, sensible choice that doesn't bore you. Woo T.